Good morning and congratulations to the graduating class of 2021. I am Mr. Holgate, your assistant principal. Like you, I'm graduating also, but unlike you, it took me more than 4 years. Yes, after 20 years at Clara Barton, I'm retiring. Thank you. Anyway, on the wall next to the Alistair Thomas's guidance suite, there's a sign that says, "Success is a journey, not a destination." I think that's a very applicable saying to you graduates here today because in 2017, Miss Finn and I selected students who had applied to Clara Barton High School. In September of that year, we had an assembly and we looked down on the 300 lost, nervous souls that and even confused whom we selected to attend Clara Barton. It's been 4 years, and as I sit here and look at the list of the successful 200 plus, I say a hearty well done. You have made Miss Finn and me proud to have selected you, especially considering your experiences over the past 15 months. But back to the saying. I know everyone sees the diploma, the cap and gown, the awards, and how beautiful and excited you all look today. But this is the destination. What about the journey or the road you traveled to get to this point? It brings to mind a song by reggae artist Buju Banton. It's not an easy road. Many see the glamour and the glitter and they think a better rose, but who feels it knows. All right, all right, all right, all right. You get the point. So I'll stop singing before I clear this Canarsie football field. Anyway, but seriously, I know that it wasn't always an easy road for you all to get to where you are today. And that's in addition to the recent coronavirus pandemic and the recent social injustice, unrest which we all experienced. There were hills and valleys, hurdles, and stumbling blocks along the way, but you overcame them. Even the honor roll students, the valedictorian, the salutatorian, the advanced regent students, the health career students, and all the labeled bright students had their hurdles to overcome in order to maintain expectations. I want to take a few minutes to address some of these obstacles that many of you faced and recognize a few individuals who did not allow these hurdles to hold them back. You know, adults always say that if they had a chance to relive their teenage years, they would be perfect adults. But that is not so. They're thinking of being back as a teenager with their adult brain and adult experiences that they have now. But that's impossible, and some of the same mistakes would be made. I could select any one of you graduates here today to represent this group. I'm talking about overcoming negative peer pressures, perceived family issues, teenage crisis, and overall schools and life's issues. In the middle of all these hurdles, you are expected to be an A student and graduate. The two students whom I have selected to represent this group are true survivors. The first one overcame all these obstacles, and in addition, she had to struggle with being uprooted 3 times, which meant 3 different states and 3 different high schools. You may even say 4, since she attended Clara Barton twice. I asked her how she was able to adjust, adapt, and readapt to all these changes. She responded, "I realized that my family did what they had to do, and getting upset wouldn't fix or solve the problem. So I just accepted it." She was constantly in my office when she came back to Barton and always asking what she needed to do to catch up. Last week I asked her what was her motivation. "I like learning," she said, "but I realized that I really don't like school. Therefore, I did everything I had to do in order to make sure that I didn't have to spend an extra year in school. As our guest speaker, Miss Delil just said to you, this is one of the students who recognized failure, confronted the fear of failure, and used her fear as a motivation to succeed. She passed the EMT exam last week and told me, I'm so excited to graduate. Her professional goal is nursing and law, and her mother told me last week just how proud she is of her. Please join me to congratulate Miss Serenity Morose. Thank you. The second student of this group came to Clara Barton in the 11th grade from the Caribbean island of St. Vincent. While I detected her nervousness when I interviewed her for acceptance into Clara Barton 2 years ago, I also sensed her enthusiasm for education. She recently told me that while she had a little problem adjusting to this country and culture, she had no problem adapting academically. What's your motivation? I asked her. She responded, my grandmother and grandfather back home, my aunt and my mother taught me that education was the only way to overcome poverty. Consequently, she has taken 56 courses throughout and has passed them all without repeating. I asked her what advice she had for young migrants like herself, and she said, I know that you have to make friends, but you should choose people who want the best for you and also for themselves. She credits her guidance counselor, Miss Trim, and all her teachers with helping her to maintain her focus in Barton. This young lady demonstrated her caring for others by getting actively involved in a drive to assist her grandparents and other St. Vincentians displaced by the recent volcanic disaster in the island. She's accepted in College of Staten Island, where she plans to fulfill her dreams of becoming a nurse. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Miss Unica Bute. Unica, thank you, thank you. Today, there are a lot of parents and guardians supporting our graduates. I know some just simply couldn't make it today for whatever reason, but I also know that some couldn't make it physically, even though they're here in spirit. It is sad and hard to lose a parent, a guardian, a family member, or a mentor at any time in your life. I'm talking about not only due to the coronavirus, but some of our graduates lost family members unrelated to the pandemic. Losing a loved one is always hard when you're trying to focus on high school graduation. Just think of the emotional hurdle these students had to overcome. That is definitely not an easy road, but they made it. And I'm sure their loved ones are looking down on them today with a big smile filled with pride. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me recognize one of our graduates representing this group. This young lady you have all seen and heard from today. She's a Gateway Honor student. Her mom passed away on July 4th last year after a prolonged illness. She attended to her mom during the years of her illness without complaining. While taking on several responsibilities in the home, she was still able to do exceptionally well and graduated at the top of the class of 2021. She is a winner of the Posse Scholarship that's over $200,000 for the next 4 years. I asked her where she got her motivation from, and she said it came from her mother. She said that her mother's goal was to prove those who thought that she couldn't succeed wrong, and her mother instilled that determination in her throughout their lives with each other. Her guidance counselor, Miss Isaacs, said that she has come a long way and she should be celebrated. When I spoke to this young lady a couple of weeks ago, she said that she would love to give her appreciation to two people who helped her to cope during this difficult time of her life. Her sister, a former graduate of Clara Barton, Miss D. Gervais Witter, and her good friend, one of today's graduate, Miss Siobhan Howell. Take a bow, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing our salutatorian, Miss Ajmani Witter. Thank you, thank you. Congratulations to all those who have lost close family members and yet maintained focus to join us today as proud graduates of the class of 2021. Bob Marley says, when one door is closed, others are open. While we thank and congratulate the parents watching today, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the other family members who stepped up and supported these youngsters when death closed one door for them. Let's recognize adopted and foster parents, grandparents, step parents, aunts and uncles, older brothers and older sisters, family friends, and all others. Congratulations to all. Finally, graduates, your journey throughout college and throughout life will not be an easy road. You will face several hurdles in your lives. Attack and conquer them like you did in high school. Have faith. Remember, life is a journey, and give thanks when you reach your destination. Be always mindful of the less fortunate. One love, and as my granny always say, walk good. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Misha Porter, Chancellor of New York City Public Schools, and I'm absolutely delighted to have the opportunity to celebrate your graduating class of 2021. Earning a diploma is always a major accomplishment to be honored, but the added challenges you encountered and overcame during the pandemic make your achievements truly special and praiseworthy. You have lived through 2 years like no other, and to make it to this point shows your power, your strength, and your resilience. I have been a New Yorker my whole life, and we have never faced anything as disruptive as the pandemic. It threw our lives upside down. It was scary, confusing, and stressful. The familiarity of walking the halls at school suddenly shifted to remote learning from home. All of a sudden, you lost face-to-face interaction with your classmates and teachers. Many of us even lost someone close to us or in our wider communities. And yet at the same time, you managed to complete your coursework and requirements to arrive at the moment we are celebrating today. Along the way, you raised your voices, you showed us the power of student voice, telling us how you felt and what you needed. You shared your vision for your educational journey and for the world, demonstrating your ambitions for yourselves and for all of us. And I can admit, you were way ahead of us on some things like technology. You taught us how to use technology in new and exciting ways, and we are grateful. The way you have stood up in the face of this pandemic shows incredible resilience and fortitude that you will be able to draw on throughout the journey that lies ahead of you. And it's how I know you are going out into the world prepared to be the world changers and innovators. If your journey is anything like mine, it may be filled with surprises. I personally graduated from Queens Vocational and Technical High School in Queens. In fact, this year is my 30th anniversary of my high school graduation. And you know what my major was? Plumbing. But instead of becoming a plumber, I ended up following the path of my mom, who was a teacher and my absolute favorite teacher. What I learned from her and my Aunt Brenda, who was my pre-K teacher, was how much of a difference one teacher can make in the life of a student. I also learned that from Ms. Hulak, the English teacher who supported me when I was having my own personal struggles as a 10th grader. I know that each of you can think of teachers who made a positive difference in your lives, both before and during the pandemic. And I'm gonna guess that your family had a little something to do with it too, standing by you in ways you could see and ways that might be invisible to you, but absolutely critical to arriving at this moment. So I hope you will find an opportunity to thank them today, because hearing from you will mean so much to them. And I'll just say directly to parents, I thank you. I know how much this day means to you. I've been in your shoes. This is your day too. You may know the poet Maya Angelou, who's my personal hero. I even named my daughter after her. She said words I try to live by, and I think you will find valuable as you go through life as well. Maya said that people may forget what you do and forget what you say, but they'll never forget the way you make them feel. So please keep that in mind, whatever path you take as you move beyond high school, starting today by recognizing the people who made you feel supported and loved along the way. Let me offer one other suggestion. Wherever you may go, strive to do something meaningful to support your community. We have seen and felt how inequality can literally threaten lives in this city. All you have to do is look at a map of where COVID-19 hit hardest. We have seen and felt terrible acts of violence targeted towards our neighbors. You can play a meaningful role in addressing the anti-Black violence, anti-Semitism, anti-Asian violence, Islamophobia, xenophobia, and homophobia that causes harm every day. None of us can be silent or passive in the face of hatred and violence in all its forms. Solidarity is active. It is through our actions that we can create safety and support for one another. I have seen this over and over again throughout my life. There are so many ways to help your community, and this is a moment to begin thinking about how you can give back to yours. So again, congratulations on all you have accomplished. You deserve this day and this celebration. You have earned it. I hope you are as proud of yourselves as I am of each and every one of you. And I can't wait to see what you're going to do going forward. Congratulations.
Hello, Clara Barton High School. This is Senator Chuck Schumer, and it's my honor to address the teachers and staff, the families and friends of the graduates, but most of all, you, the class of 2021. Congratulations. Now, I'm really sorry I can't join you in person, but I'm still grateful that modern technology allows us to be connected on this graduation day. You are special, and I wouldn't want to miss congratulating you, COVID or not. As we all know, these have been unusual and difficult times, but the fact that we're still celebrating this graduation and not letting COVID stand in the way, even if we're celebrating differently, just goes to show you that New Yorkers won't let anything stop us from honoring what's so important in life. And nothing can take away from the fact that you've earned your high school diploma from such a fine school. Now, we have a long way to go, but for the first time in more than a year, we can start to think about what it'll be like to return to normal. We're beginning to see light at the end of the tunnel, thanks to safe and highly effective vaccines. And as Senate Majority Leader, the first ever from New York, I worked hard to pass the American Rescue Plan, which is putting money in the pockets of people and small businesses who've been hurt by this crisis and helping our society recover in so many ways. So my message to the class of 2021 is simple. Right now, you may feel like the future is uncertain, but what's been true throughout history is just as true today. That even in times of difficulty, there are always new opportunities, new ways of thinking, of doing things in a better way. And don't forget, you have loving families who will always have your back through thick and thin. Our nation's overcoming this pandemic, and we need your help and your courage to rebuild our country even stronger than it ever was before. The past year has revealed injustices and prejudices that persist in our society, and we can't just go back to the way things used to be. We must make society better, and we know we will because you are our future leaders, and we have faith in you. So to Clara Barton, class of 2021, I say once again, congratulations, good luck, Godspeed.
Hey, did you like that video? Well, click and subscribe for more content from Clara Barton High School. Have a great day, Barton.